Hello from the Travel Tracker. Today's tip is for vehicle owners who need to make a change to either the vehicle and or the driver on a particular trip. So the way that you'll need to do that is, if you know the trip number, is to open up the trip number from the trips by trip number option here. You can click on trips by trip number and it will bring you up a screen that you can simply just key in the trip number and hit enter, and that will bring up your trip number for you. Click anywhere on the trip information to open the trip request form. We're going to scroll down to the current assignments for this trip section here, and we see that bus 8049 and Matthew is assigned to this particular trip. With both of those, you see a change button. We have our change vehicle button and our change driver button, and you can change either or both of these. If you want to change the vehicle, you'll simply click on the change vehicle button. It will bring up a list of vehicles that are available during this particular date and time that meet the criteria of the trip request. To select the vehicle that you want to change to, you would simply click on the little star, making it turn gold, and then click to change to the selected vehicle. Then the new vehicle will be assigned to this particular trip. To change the driver, you would click on the change driver button, and then you'll see a list of available drivers. Select the driver that you need to change to by clicking on that particular driver's star. And then notice you do have two different buttons here, to change the driver or to change the driver and vehicle. If you have vehicles assigned to drivers and you only have to assign the driver, and the vehicle comes along, then you can use this button to change the driver and the vehicle, depending on how your driver table is set up, or you can just change the driver and leave the vehicle alone. Notice also that you have a field here for log notes if you wanted to log the reason why you're making this change. Maybe the original driver called in sick or had an appointment, or maybe just denied the trip. Whatever it might be, you can type in that reason here in the log notes. That information will be available then in the driver log. So we're just going to change the driver in my example here because we've already changed the vehicle. So now my new vehicle and my new driver are assigned to this particular trip. Notice that you can print your trip ticket or your trip ticket with driving directions at this point if you'd like to provide that trip ticket for that new driver. And then after you've done that, scroll and click your Save Close button. This will save that assignment, and if you were notifying drivers, then your drivers will be notified, one that they've been assigned to a trip and one that they're no longer required for that particular trip. So what if you don't know the trip number? How do you find the trip request, or how do you make your change? Well, one way to do that is from the assignment inquiry. So over here on the left, again, we have the option Assignment Inquiry. The assignment inquiry is going to bring you up many filters that you can utilize to find particular trips, and one of those filters is a driver filter, and so you can come down and choose the driver that is not going to be able to go on the trip, and then click on the Apply Filters button, and that will bring you up a list of that driver's trips. You could use other filters if you needed to, if you wanted to narrow down the list, that would be fine. But if you scroll, you'll see all of the trips that this particular driver has been assigned to. Now, in order to make a change from this screen, which is going to take us to the invoice, we have to click on the actual trip number. We can't click anywhere on the information. We have to click on the trip number itself. This is going to open up the invoice for this particular trip. Now, in order to make a change here, you can do two different things. If you want to go back to the trip request form, you can click on the trip number here, and that will take you back to the trip request form, and you can make the change to the driver and or the vehicle the way that we just did a few minutes ago. But notice that you can change the driver and or the vehicle from the invoice itself. In the top section here, we have the vehicle number, and then we have our change button. So you could simply click your change button from here, select the vehicle that you want to go on the trip now, and click change, and then that change will be made on the assignment. And then the driver, you would scroll down just a little bit to the driver section here, and again click your change button and choose the driver that you want to go on this particular trip. Notice that you do have an option to put your log notes in, even from the invoice. If you would like to print the trip ticket, you can. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the invoice, there is the download trip ticket button, or the trip ticket with the driving directions that you can click to print those out to provide the new driver with the information for the trip request. And then of course click your save and close. And that is very easy to make your changes either from the trip request or from the invoice. So I hope this has been a helpful tip for you today. Thank you.